notice how your nose hairs go completely off kilter whenever you're in front of a camera? How does that happen? Let's go wild. Thanks for joining me again at the Bull and Burley. This is Caleb. Alright, continuing on with the series I was doing on, This is Caleb. Thanks for coming back to the Bull and Burley. Today I want to talk about the Peretti Dynasty, Part 2, Burleys. I'm going to start today's video off with the tabletop, and I'm going to be talking about Original Mix, the Burley from LJ Peretti's down in Boston. This is one of their, as I was researching, looking up different blends and different reviews and stuff like that, this is one of their blends that came to the top of the conversation a lot, so I wanted to give it a try after last video's number 8 Virginia. So I'm going to start off with my tabletop today, on my rickety and crotchety old table here, which I just recently added some more coffee stains to. Anyways, I'm going to be smoking this in a Savinelli Eleganza. This is the KS. Where are my notes? This is the KS model. I've actually had to do some work on this bowl because it wasn't really smoking that great, so I actually widened the bowl out at the bottom. I re-reamed it, and I actually got my bowl bit in there and widened out the bottom, made it a little deeper and wider. And I reamed the main airway a little bit wider too. And since I've done this thing smokes way better. So I'm breaking in this bowl again, so I'm breaking it in with the Burley, and I'm breaking it in with LJ Peretti's Original Mix. This is a pause for me. Okay, I have my notes here. I have I've smoked a few bowls of this already, so I wrote down some notes as I was going. And it is so hot in here. I'm turning the air conditioner on. Alright, Peretti, Original Mix, Burley. It is not their original version of the Original Mix, but it is a newer version, from what I understand. It is an untopped cube cut Burley, from their website, from what I could find on tobaccoreviews.com. An untopped cube cut Burley. I don't know what else is in it. I don't know if there is anything else in it. It has a slightly sweet and bready floral note, which I found for myself to be more or less true. And these are my notes here. It has a natural herbal quality I found after a couple bowls. The first bowl, it was a little hot outside and it was a little moist and dense in the air, like humidity, so I was getting a little bit of tongue bite, but I don't think that was from the tobacco. It was more from the environment. So I moved inside to work the rest of it over a couple days. Second or third bowl in, I did dump out the bowl halfway because I wasn't quite getting a good smoke out of it, insofar as that I didn't feel like I was getting all the nuances of flavor, and I kind of packed it wrong, and I was getting a little hot with it. So I dumped that bowl out, went back to my Savinelli, started again, and the third or fourth, I think it's the fourth bowl now. That one, I only packed a half bowl, lit it up, fired right up just fine. And that one changed the tone of this whole blend for me right off the bat. Alright, so it's a unique Burley to me in what I've experienced so far. I guess I'm used to the kind of codger Burleys or the other blending house Burleys that have a little bit of Virginia note to them, that have a little bit of that Burley bass and undertone to them that's kind of a common and familiar taste to it. This was a Burley, no doubt. It had the woody nuttiness to it, kind of an oak flavor, but it was very uncommon tasting to me. It was very dynamic, and I found that after that third, I think it was the fourth bowl, I started smoking. I kind of slowed myself down and really started, getting into it. It was good. It was real good. I was like, okay, now we're in a groove here with this sucker. This thing had finally got a little bit of char on the walls again, and I'd gone through, this would be in my fourth bowl of it, and then it really started to settle down for me. And so I'm going to take along that vein and break the tabletop here. I'm going to give you some up close of the Burley itself. We can break this down. I'm going to load up a pipe, and I'm going to have another smoke of this, another puff of this here, and finish my review in kind of my relaxed way while enjoying this bowl and giving my impressions as I go. But I was off to a little bit of a rocky start with him. I was very excited about it because it smelled very good, and I loved the way it smelled. It had that Peretti smell to it. I don't know if it's a Perique or whatever. It just says it's just a plain Burley. But I don't know if there's a perique or something else mixed in here with this thing. But I have no idea. There's a couple different types of leaf here though, from what I can tell. So let's look at it. Okay, you have to forgive me the camera angle and some of the ambient noise. But yeah, it's getting hot in here, so I had to turn the air conditioner on. So just bear with me. Let's get into this bad boy. I got the 1 ounce version, or the 1 ounce bag from LJ Peretti's. I just ordered a bunch of samplers. And immediately noticed that just a really dynamic, spicy and peppery tin note when I open the bag. And the claim is that this is just Burley, or at least the only thing they advertise is that this is a Burley mix. But a mix to me denotes there are other elements into it. So I don't know if it's just different types of Burley or what. I don't know enough about the tobacco. I'm not a tobacconist. I'm not even a fake tobacconist. I just like smoking it and I like experiencing this stuff. But yeah, it looks like, see, there's some bright colored leaves in there. There's some of the darker leaves. Kind of makes me think there's a brighter Virginia in there somewhere, like just as a supporting note. Yeah, that kind of looked like a Virginia flake right there. And I haven't mixed these bags. This all came originally how it came. Look at that. That's so beautiful. It's a cube cut, kind of a cube, kind of a ribbon cut. It looks like to me. I don't really know. Don't really care. Call it whatever you want. Looks like cubes. But yeah, there's a couple different types of tobacco in there, and it has this peppery spice to it that I can't quite put my finger on. But my gosh, it's a really unique spice and flavor, or flavor to the spice so far as on your palate. And I didn't notice much tongue bite at all. It was pretty, mild, except for the humidity. On a couple of days I've smoked it, it's been really hot and humid outside, so I had to come inside and try to enjoy it more, and it was better that way because it wasn't getting as hot as quick. But yeah, look at that, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful little cut. I could sit here and analyze the crap out of this all day and try to give my expert opinion, but I'm not a blender. I don't have a clue about how that happens. So these are just the get the old close up here. Look at that beautiful tobacco. So I'm going to load up another bowl of this, and we're going to go out to my favorite spot when it cools down later on this evening. And I'm going to try this in the evening time. It did have a good mild, a good medium nicotine kick to it, I noticed, which was really, really nice. I could honestly see myself, like it wasn't overpowering, let me put it that way. And so I could see myself enjoying this all day. And honestly, to be honest with you, it's one of the few tobaccos I've ever tried that when I smoked that half bowl, I got about halfway through the bowl and was having problems, I immediately wanted to smoke another one. And when I finished that second half of the bowl, I wanted another one after that. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. It was just such a good taste and feel in my mouth and on my palate that it was really such an enjoyable experience. And I'd calmed down, and the nicotine was, not too overpowering and everything. So it was a mild note for me, but it was hitting all the right spots, so I wanted to enjoy some more of it. I had to back myself off and be like, all right, I got to get work done, so I can't sit here and do this all day. So that was my experience with it right off the bat. I'm going to go into another bowl and give some more of my impressions. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. You never went anywhere. All right, I'll finish up the review here of Peretti Original Mix, the OG. Now, I'm a few bowls into it. I've tried a couple different pipes. Finally learned how to simmer down. Savor it. Aired it out just a little bit on this bowl. And it is definitely settling into a very nice creamy Burley. There's a peppery spice to it, for sure. There's hardly any tongue bite, none. I mean, I've been chuffing this one pretty good this morning and not really getting a whole lot of heat off of it. This pipe actually smokes really well now. I've also widened the bowl and widened the airway on this one. This is a Brigham Algonquin. It is the very first pipe we ever bought. Just a bent apple shape, very simple. Beautiful dye on it, beautiful contrast. Had a filter in it, but I took it out. I find them to be obnoxious. Yeah, original mix. It's kind of lost a little bit of its peppery spice halfway through this bowl. I'm getting occasional notes here and there. It might be the pipe I'm smoking in too. Just the shape of it. Yeah, this is a very mellow and pleasant Burley. I mean, it's definitely got a little more kick to it than I'm, used to in my daily smoke. Not unpleasant at all. Creamy smoke, easy to keep lit. I feel like this could be an easy all-day smoker. Yeah, I think something like just uncomplicated and a little more, I think a little more exotic than the Codger Burleys or than the semi-boutique Burleys I've covered in the past. And some of that's probably because of the fact it is a boutique Burley. It is a artisanal blended Burley by skilled tobacconists that have been around for, in a business, in a family-owned business that's been around for a very long time, LJ Peretti. So I feel like there's a lot of artistic skill that goes into that, just getting it right. It's not mass produced per se. So I don't really have much for deep philosophical thoughts today other than a very dark rant I was on. But yeah, this is a very pleasant way to start the day. I'd call it an all-day smoke for sure. Something you could smoke all day without really killing your palate, overpowering you with Latakia or something like that. Yeah. I would put it on my would recommend list. Would recommend everybody try. There's a uniqueness to it that is somewhat undefinable. I found that when I let it get just to the edge of being almost out, it smokes the best, coolest. Get the most flavor out of it. LJ Peretti, original mix, the OG. Yeah, I'd go with some more of that. I'd put that in a tin in the cellar. I don't know that it's my favorite Burley I've ever smoked. It's definitely up there, but it has a harshness to it for my throat, I found. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Have you tried it? Would you recommend it? Are you willing to try it? I'd say it's worth ordering an ounce bag and see if you like it. LJ Peretti sends them out in 1 ounce bags. They're a few bucks, not much. Yeah, I'd sample your way across their catalog. I would highly recommend that. I'm going to. Thanks for coming back to the Bull and Burley. Hope you find fair winds, good friends, cool smokes.